First of all, I want you to thank PerfectDent and IDEX organization for this great congress. I was really impressed by the exhibition and by the audience and by the interest of the clinicians. All the people were eager to learn about new technology, new instrument, and a part of this there was always a friendly, warmly atmosphere, a Mediterranean way that I really like and enjoy, apart of the fact that I always like Egypt as a nice place because we have a long-term friendship between Italian and Egyptian. Well, EdgeEndo is a very interesting endodontic company because it's like a PerfectDent. In a few years, they created a very interesting and big business. And when you have this kind of successful company, there's always a reason. And the reason behind this is for Edge is the quality of the products, which is a very extraordinary quality, extremely high level, and reasonable pricing. And this allowed EdgeEndo all over the world, mainly in US, but also in many other countries, to become one of the two biggest companies in endo in just a few years. And this is related to very innovative, high-tech treatment of the files, and we also made a lot of testing at the university, and I tried them clinically. Well, actually, I'm using them in my clinical practice every day, and these improvements in technology enable Edge to make at the moment file with the best performance and the best safety. Well, reciprocation in the past was a very interesting topic, but commercially speaking, there were some problems. And the main problems were related that the dentist did not really appreciate and know the best way to use it. And also there were a lot of limitations with the instrument. Nowadays, with the introduction of new motors, with the introduction of new technology, introduction of heat-treated Edge OneFire, the technique has gained vitality and interest. And honestly speaking, I think it's an extremely simple, predictable way of shaping the root canal. And it's very successful because it uses only one instrument, but a very high quality instrument, the Edge OneFire, and enable the majority of dentists to treat in very little time and with very few chance of iatrogenic errors the majority of the canal. So it is a very, very nice technique, especially when you have the right instrument. And also nowadays we have improvement in motors, and this also allowed this technique to become more popular because the cost of this motor has been significantly reduced over time, and also this motor allowed more motions, so we were able also to improve the technique. Well, X7 are a great instrument, and they are available in 04 and 06 taper. And apart from the excellent heat treatment they have that makes them superior instrument, I can also tell they have a big advantage. They are a minimal invasive instruments because the maximum diameter is 1 millimeter. So I think they can very profitable use especially when you want to make minimal invasive technique. And so that's why if I have to recommend a technique, we have a simplified technique in which we use only two instruments, the 1704 and 2504, and we rely on brushing also, and it's continuous rotation obviously, and we found that with only two instruments we are able to prepare quite difficult canal in a predictable and relatively easy way. So we promoted this technique in many countries, and so far we always found a very good response. As a matter of fact, X7 has become one of the most popular file all over the world in just a few years.
Thank you, Doctor. We have tried the WISMY Endomotor, and the last 3 courses we have done in IDEX. So what's your feedback about WISMY Endomotor?
Oh, this is an interesting question, because in the past years, endodontic motor were much more expensive and they provided less function. Nowadays, luckily, this has totally changed. We have new motors which are cordless, small, light, which is very, very good thing. But having said this, the cost of this device is much less than it used to be. So I think there's such a big evolution in the motor, and it's very helpful for the dentist, because nowadays they can afford, in a certain way, complicated motor that are, not expensive at all, and this can help them quite a lot to improve their technique. Because if you have an excellent file, you also need an excellent motor to take all advantage of the excellence of the file. So the two things go together, and I'm glad to know that the improvement in the instrument, mainly due to the heat treatment, go in the same way with the improvement in the motors. And with this cordless motor you can do single motion, continuous rotation, reciprocation. You can change speed, angles. You have combined motion. So you have nearly everything in one simple, easy, and not expensive motor. So I strongly recommend them.